Shalom. All praises, honor, and glorification unto our mighty, marvelous, and wonderful power. Call Halaim La Alahayan Awa Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Akakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, whom rule well, and who are great examples towards other brethren, and also whom I have learned this truth from, ultimately through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Salutations as well as health and wellness unto you, sincere Akim and few sincere Akwat out there. This is your brother Allah coming to you with another video. And the title of this video is going to be President Trump shot during assassination attempt. And, I'm sure you already know about it. But I'm going to go ahead and play a clip and then maybe read a bit of an article, and then we'll get into it. So, Lord willing, the elect of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai be edified, and let's go.
Burns was reporting from the rally yesterday. She was just on the other side of those barns you see behind me, watching the president's speech. She has talked about her experience numerous times, but now is the first time I'm getting a chance to talk to her about what she's seen. Dasha, first, good morning. I know you've told this story a couple times now. You sort of set the scene of what you saw. When you were watching it in real time, did you understand, did you register what was happening?
No, I mean, Tom, like so many people that we talked to in the aftermath, initially we thought it was fireworks. You know, the former president's rallies sometimes have pyrotechnics, sometimes smoke, sometimes some sort of fireworks and flares. So that was my initial thinking. I mean, you never jump first to the conclusion that this was an act of political violence, but it was when those pops kept going and the former president stopped talking that it felt like, oh wait, this is not something that was expected. This could potentially be dangerous. So it went from a sort of initial confusion and chaos to a bit of adrenaline and fear starting to settle in. My producer Bianca and I were just coming off of the press risers, walking down the stairs when those initial sounds that are now sort of keep echoing through my mind went off, and we took cover behind some stage equipment, big boxes of stage equipment, once we realized this could be something dangerous. Although, Tom, I'll tell you, even as I was taking cover, I was thinking, this is just a precaution. We're just doing this to be safe. We're going to come up and realize it was fireworks or something not what we ultimately realized was the reality of political violence here.
Josh, I want you to explain to our viewers, if you can. Yeah, I want you to explain to our viewers, if you can, just how close the alleged assassin was, because it shocked me this morning when we came out to the scene, and again, former President Trump was speaking under that American flag. We drove, I'd say, 10 seconds in this direction, 10, 20 seconds in this direction, and there's a road that takes you right to that business we were just talking about, the glass factory, where the alleged assassin got on the roof there. It shocked me how close it was and how easy it was to get there. When you finally learned of where he was and where the president was, did it surprise you?
It did and it didn't, Tom. So here's what I'll tell you. I've been to dozens of Trump rallies, right? The security measures in place are intense. Everyone that goes inside of one of these events, they get screened thoroughly. You go through mags, whether you're a member of the public, a member of the press, or even an elected official. They go through every one of your bags, every small bag, they go through your wallet. I mean, it is a thorough search. The problem is, this was an outdoor venue. He often does rallies in outdoor venues. But once we learned that it was outside of the perimeter, that's when I wasn't surprised. I was surprised when I was thinking, how could somebody possibly get through with all of these levels of security? How could somebody get through? And then thinking about, wait a minute, behind the former president, behind the audience, it was open space. And this is a rural county. There are rolling hills, cows, it's a lot of open spaces. And so as soon as I realized it was outside of the perimeter, it didn't shock me, although what was surprising was that area was unprotected, wasn't searched, wasn't being guarded, that's something that wasn't taken into account. Of course, we'll wait for the investigation to reveal to us why exactly that happened.
You know, Dasha, we are focusing so much on former President Trump, as we should, right? I think it's fair to say he came inches, if not centimeters, to maybe death. somebody did lose their life here, right? Somebody was killed at a political rally in the United States for simply attending. And then you have two others in critical condition. I know you spoke to some people, and you spoke to an eyewitness.
So you get the point, man, and you know, there's a lot going on, you know. It's a lot going on. Now, you know how Esau gets down, man. You know, the king of psyops. Now, you know, could be, could not be. But ultimately, we got to, you know, keep our eyes open, man. And, yeah. Because whether it is or whether it's not, it's still, you know, going to result in what it's going to result in. You know, these Edomites out here, you know, they're not playing, man. You know, so obviously this is tied to civil war and, you know, friction, if you will, within Babylon the Great amongst Americans. But yeah, man, you know, she right. So you see here for the word sedition, it says conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. And pretty much that spirit is present, man. And that's prophecy, right? When you go to Isaiah, Salakia, not Isaiah, 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, and I'll start at verse 14. It reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? And a bit of a side note, the modern day sword is the gun, which pretty much is the symbol of Babylon the Great. That gun, man. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So, you know, whether it's a psyop or whether it's not, it just shows you the spirit that is in the world, man. And that's important because that's something that we're supposed to be observing. Not observing, right? Which we're instructed to do pursuant to the book of 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter. And I'll read it starting at verse 1. It reads, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, right? Are we not seeing that? Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, and wonder and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. Right? Those effects and signs being fulfillment of prophecy. Right, which we're in the time of fulfillment of prophecy. You see? Right, let's go to Matthew, the 24th chapter. And I'll start at 6. And it reads, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And, amongst those wars prophesied, you're going to have civil wars, right? You're going to have civil wars. You're going to have race wars, right? You're going to have World War III, so on and so forth. And this is clearly tied to civil war, civil war and civil unrest. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Right. I want to get this too. Isaiah 19:2, and it reads, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Right now, as we know, Babylon the Great, which is America, is the spiritual Sodom in Egypt. Right? Right? And, pretty much modern day Egypt is Babylon the Great, or America. Right? So these Americans would be the modern day Egyptians. And going into it, I'll read it again. It says, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Right? You see that, man. This place is divided. And I'll get that precept too. And they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Prophecy. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord. It's lucky that shit on there. All right, so, damn. I always lose my train of thought. What was I going to get? Damn, man. Right, I'll get this too. Isaiah 9:19, through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. Right? Oh, that's it. The water Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It cannot stand. Right, Mark, the 3rd chapter, verse 24. And it reads, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Verse 25, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Right? So, as we know, man, this place is not going to stand. And it's going to fall. It's only a matter of time. Right? So, with that being said, I'm going to close it out with the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter and the 3rd verse. And it reads, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And, just a reminder, man, this current process is a test of patience. We have to be patient and wait patiently for the Lord as we're instructed. Let me get that too. Right, Psalms 37:7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Right, so if that, Lord willing, you were edified, once again and continuously, all praises, honor, and glorification unto our power. Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakah Kwadash. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing, and on to the next one. Shalom.